start getting ready. I usually clip my hair back when I get ready, or I tie it up so my little baby hairs won't be in the way. And that's it. I'm gonna be moisturizing my face with Mer The Moisturizing Cream. This is the packaging. I'm actually using a sample because the Mer is really expensive, so it goes a long way. I'm literally being cheap and using that much because I'm also oily, so I don't want it to move my foundation or over moisturize, and my foundation then is not gonna sit well. So the foundation that I'm gonna be using is the Infallible Matte Pro Longwear in the color 106, and I'm also gonna be using the Pro Matte Glow in the color 205. I do it in the back of my hand and then I mix it so it's two different. So here I'm just mixing both colors of the foundation in the back of my hands, and I'm applying it to my skin. I take just a little bit more. The best concealer in the world. So this is the Age Rewind concealer from Maybelline, and I actually use it in the color Light Pale. So I put this under my eyes as my first concealer base. So now I'm going over my Maybelline concealer with the Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the color Light Sand. I like to do this on top because it has really good coverage as well, and it's actually a brighter concealer. So then once I draw it onto my face wherever I want to highlight, I use the Beauty Blender to blend it all out. So now I'm setting my under eye with the Mercier translucent powder. It's sort of like baking, but I'm not really doing that heavy Instagram baking. I'm just taking my beauty blender, dipping it in the powder, and putting it on pressing it onto my face. And I do it wherever I feel like I want to get a good set. But I usually get dry. I'm oily, but then I get dry with the powder, so I don't go too crazy on there. And I underline the brow here, like if I'm underlining a sentence under a book. So to fill in my brows, I'm using the L'Oreal Paris Stylist Brow Definer in the color Brunette. And my method for filling in my eyebrows is really, like I mentioned earlier, it's really underlining the brow and bringing that color up with the spoolie, as you can see, and kind of drawing on little hairs and dispersing color with the spoolie on the other side. And I usually clean it up at the ends. I clean up the top of my brow with foundation so it won't be lighter, and then the bottom I clean it up with concealer. Now that I did my eyebrows, I'm gonna start bronzing. Use the L'Oreal bronzer, and this is a Morphe brow. So to bronze up my face, I'm actually using the L'Oreal Glam bronzer for face and body, and a Morphe contour brush, which I can't remember the name, and it's faded on the brush. And here I'm going in with this is actually a contouring palette from e.l.f. It was actually $3, and it's in the color Turks and Caicos. Is a must because it's like the prettiest color to tan up your face, to bronze it up, to contour it. So you guys should try it. And now here I'm just going over sculpting the face with some setting powder under my face. And for this part, I'm still using the same setting powder, the Mercier, in a beauty blender. Here, I'm just bringing down my contour, making sure my jawline is chiseled. And now I'm getting into my nose contouring. This is a Wet n Wild contouring palette. It's actually a really pretty color to contour my nose. I like to start at the tip of my nose to shorten it. I watch a lot of nose contouring videos, and this is the best method for me. I know a lot of people like to cream contour their nose, but that's not for me. Cream contouring is just, it doesn't go well with my oily nose. So I just take the Sigma E25 brush, and it's like a back and forth with me contouring my nose. Like it just takes time for me to feel comfortable with, like, okay, it looks good now. And then I go over it with a beauty blender, and I just go over it like a few times. And I also like to contour under my lips. When you contour under your lips the way I'm doing right now, that creates a shadow as if you had a bigger, fuller bottom lip. And then it all comes together once you line your lips. It'll look all cohesive. Here I'm just blending all that product in with my beauty blender so it can look seamless, using that same setting powder that was already on there. Now I'm pressing actually in all that powder that I put on earlier with the baking and the sculpting. Just pressing all that in, swiping it off, making sure that everything looks, you know, seamless and chiseled. Some Fix Plus. I love Fix Plus. These are the Ardell 252s. Very essential. So I like to use the Duo Glue, put it in my hand. So while that Duo Glue dries up in the back of my hand, I like to go in and put on my mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. To take my lash, I like to take the lash, and I like to use the corner of the glue here, and I pick it up and put it on here. And then I take some tweezers So this angle of me putting on the lashes and the camera was not the best, so I'm really sorry that this is the only thing that I have to show you guys how I put on my lashes. It's not good. I'll redo something else where it's a better view. Also, disclaimer, I am not bald or thinning, receding hairline. It's just my hair wasn't parted the best, so please don't judge. And after you put on those lashes, you gotta go back in with mascara to make sure they stick together, and just give it a little oomph with some mascara. And I'm using some of the mascara on my lash line. It gets messy. I don't care. I don't wipe it off. It looks like a fake liner. Here I'm using this chubby stick to give a little brownie tone to my eyes. This is what I like to do if I can't find my black liner. But I love black liner, even though it's harsh at times. So to line my lips, I'm using the NYX lip liner pencil in the color Nutmeg. I like to start lining my lips by going into the Cupid's bow and doing these V motions just to create that definition, like set that foundation of definition first on the Cupid's bow, and then eventually I venture off to the sides of my lips and my curves to overdraw and define, and you know, just to carve out that shape before I fill in my dimension lines. Then you take your lipstick. So I start by dabbing on the lipstick to not mix in that brown color, my dimension lines that I created together. At the top, eventually I end up just swiping the lipstick, but you can still see some definition. And I'm using the Fenty Beauty lip gloss, the Gloss Bomb. It's the best universal color in lip glosses ever made. So to highlight, I'm going to be using the Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlighter, and I'm putting that on with my Pat McGrath highlighter brush on the cheeks, on the nose, wherever I want to highlight. This is an orangey blush. It looks pink though. So this blush is actually coral, not orange, and it is from Wet n Wild, and I forgot the name, so I'll list it below for you guys. You fixed them clips, girl. I have so many little hairs. I just keep looking at myself in the camera. This can be your natural everyday look. Pretty quick and easy to do this.